But a lot of people don't get the story right. It's because they said Dick Rowland stumbled upon her, tried to attack her and all that, but that wasn't the case. They was actually
a whole lie.
They were actually engaged to be married. And
because before the massacre even happened, they had an article that said Nigga Town has to go. They was already jealous. Because down here, it was 3.5 miles, 40-block radius. And we had 7 millionaires down here at the time. They'd be billionaires in today's time.
Yeah.
60% of the businesses down here was run by women.
Hey guys, we are back with another
Tulsa, Oklahoma. We here.
Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Black Wall Street Massacre.
We are here, guys. This is our first state park, so we gonna see what it's hitting for. Now we've only stayed at RV resorts. Let's try the state park. I'm hoping this is a great experience. Maddie's ready. Maddie, where you at, girl?
Right here.
Aiden, where you at?
Right here.
How you feel, Aiden? How you feel, Kai?
I'm in Tulsa, Oklahoma. I feel great.
So we're gonna check out the state park grounds, and you know today's moving day, so y'all know I gotta help my mans and them back it in. Back, babe, would you say I'm getting better with this backing in light?
Absolutely. You're getting great with this back in that light. You are great. Amen.
My man.
Oh, Aiden, look, the playground. Where?
Yes, it's the playground. Give you guys a little view. So we're exactly looking at. Oh, they come with grips.
They don't even have a slide.
She's 15.
Don't even have the
Okay, so let me help you look for that.
She too. And it feels so good to finally be in weather that feels super great. Oh my God, I got a nice little breeze to it. Oh.
I just think you're calling me.
Man, boss.
Dad, we can't even drive a car ball. And we only drive baseball. No, it's not for the left.
Hello.
first time?
Mm-hmm. Really park. Wow. It's a really nice park. Thank you. Did yourself, Dad.
Amazing. That was like a zip line.
Huh?
This is a zip line.
This is a zip line? Are you gonna do it?
Yeah, come on. You gotta come down this thing. No. It's very fun. You go so fast. It's fun.
Babe, I'm waiting.
It's fun. It's fun.
So you go down, you don't go
I'm
up.
doing the big slide.
I don't know. Babe? Are you coming?
I'm almost stuck.
Yes.
I'm coming.
Like something you find at the water park.
Oh,
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
that was amazing. Wow.
You just shot
That
out there
was
like
fun.
a rocket.
That was fast. I came out fast. I couldn't help myself at that point.
You came out like a bullet.
I did? Oh my God.
This park is so beautiful. Has a million trillion things to do. I can't even see saying that I'm bored at this park. However, the little ones are having an amazing time. We are going to insert some clips of them doing different activities at this park. The views from this park are amazing. So let's see what else we get into. So our first time in downtown Tulsa. So we're checking it out. Today is going to be like a chill exploring day. And we're cutting through a park right now. Are you okay, son?
Did you catch on camera?
No. You good? Secret safe with me and the viewers. My husband in his construction element. Looks like they're doing some work over here and drove right to it. Babe, you in your construction element?
Right now we're in the process of building a 10,064 unit complex. This area is gonna go from North Tulsa to South Tulsa. It's roughly costing about 506 trillion for the full development. Come over here, babe. 506 trillion for the development. Right now we're in the foundation phase. This is going to be our pool. Our pool is going to be 365 acres, and the land is 60,000 acres. So the pool is going to go from one side of the community to the next side. Right now we got our workers working.
My children are doing dancing.
All right.
And this is so fun out here. There's so many playgrounds. My mom and dad are taking me some playgrounds right now. And it's so fun. You need to come here, please. And it's so fun.
This is a happy experience, guys.
It's pretty heavy.
This is very happy. I'm gonna take a picture, a family photo.
Huh?
You gonna put the time on?
Yeah, we gotta take a
Guys, we are here at the Black Wall Street, aka Greenwood. This is heavy. This is heavy. Like, your girl's emotional out here. I feel emotional. Look at my son trying to climb the walls. I'm just emotional. I'm too emotional to even care. I can't. It is very gentrified over here now, but it just, my spirit just feels how heavy. Like, oh God. This is a lot to take in. I hope everybody out there, at least once in your life, make the trip down here to come and visit Black Wall Street. Come spend some money with your black people. This is why I got to do better supporting black businesses. I'm sure I do. I do. But this was heavy. This was heavy, and it was a lot. So, hope you guys enjoy the footage.
At the Black Wall Street in Tulsa, Oklahoma. This is where the Black Wall Street massacre took place. We are excited to be here just to, feel the community, feel the streets. We read so much about it, seen so many different documentaries, but to actually be here, touching the soil, speaking to the people, spending a couple dollars in the neighborhood, it feels different. But honestly, personally, you could look at it. I mean, I know it's a lot of brutal and a lot of bad events took place, but it kind of inspired me to keep, on an entrepreneurship trajectory and keep moving forward and doing what I'm doing, not only for me, but for generations to come. And to actually be here, it makes me feel some kind of way. I just got the chills just thinking about it wholeheartedly, because to know that, my ancestors and our people, our black people actually came together and built some type of community, which they call Black Wall Street in Little Africa. It's amazing. It's amazing to see. It's amazing to feel. It's amazing to put your eyes on it and to walk through the actual neighborhood, the street, the Greenwood Street District. So, it's just a blessing to have the opportunity to come here. I would have never thought in my lifetime growing up as a kid, first of all, I never knew nothing about it, to actually be here. It's a whole different kind of feeling. So I'm just blessed and thankful for the opportunity to be here and to touch the land. It's super unfortunate of how the story played out, how everything went down. I just pray for the families that was, most close to it. But just as a black person in America, it kind of gives me hope and show me what I could do and what's possible. And I feel like as a whole, we need to come together and maybe possibly do something like this, and even take it to the further extent, because our ancestors laid the foundation. But at some point, we got to put everything aside and just got to continue to build where they left off at, and what tragedy took place from what they already had. So I'm just blessed and I'm thankful not to only show myself, my wife, and my kids, but it's a lot of emotions, being here. But overall, I'll say it's a blessing.
Crazy experience. I never thought I would feel this in my life. It's just, I never knew nothing about this at all. When I was younger, I really never learned about slavery, even like 4th grade back then when I was in grade school. I never really learned about it. Now that I come here in person, it feels fine, but I'm happy I get to know. But I feel like what happened back then was just straight up cruelty.
Love how they dedicated everything to people who lost. Their shots, they couldn't be repaired. That were actually in the massacre.
Then I finally know.
No, don't climb it.
Please don't climb it. And they feel regular. They do. It's like regular.
How did he die?
This is definitely and this is where we'll be going tomorrow for the museum tour.
What? Let's double check.
When I saw that outfit.
This has been changing stuff. Mark of ownership, World War II. This is sounds
It's the guy, Kunta Kinte. It's the guy that has the scars on his back that was listed 150 bucks a times.
This is in Kunta Kinte
guys. It's Adolf Hitler? One of these guys is the prisoner.
Yeah, that's the prison.
That outfit actually scared.
That's crazy. I ain't never seen one of those before.
How did they even obtain this?
This is probably a replica.
Yeah, it's probably rubber from an old war back then. When Washington was there. They was all using that outfit.
That's dirty.
That is old. That guy's a rifle. He can't be the guy.
So when you get back, you're gonna have to watch another game. So this is like a dog shot. That's all of the side that they able to tap into their entrepreneurship and build stuff now. Like even like us, give them all staff. So
We just did the museum tour. I handled it pretty well. I'm really proud. Now we're gonna go and support a local store.
And all that. So that was out there when I was a kid. And then when you hear, like my dad and they would tell me, like, you know what happened there, and then you know the Gap Band is from here. And then when you do some study, you got the Greenwood Archer Pine Street Band. And then you be like, wait a minute, that's where they got the Gap from. And so you know, but I had I not grown up where I grown up, I wouldn't have known nothing about it, because there's people my age that grew right here in Tulsa. They be like, we had no clue. So
one thing I would say though, you know, like even the journey I'm on, you said you already own some blocks in, you know, Black Wall Street, the Greenwood area. I would try to say, if you can, like just try to buy all this shit. Because when you buy, you know, that's when you got power and control and you got ownership. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, sometimes it's not always about money. Like, you know, it's about, you know, preservation and, you know, another black man holding the history of, you know, black history. Because if you don't, then they're going to come through eventually and try to gentrify everything. Like, you know what I'm saying? And when you gentrify and you build these new things, it's like whatever was here don't even exist no more.
Yeah, I mean, but see, the issue is you don't know who's who. And the reason why I say that is because you got some of us that act like them and work for them and they're puppets. So,
Amen.
We got our own people sell some of this land to them for the right price.
So that's what it is. So, and that's why I say with me, man, like I want to be able to be in a position to where I hold the power. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm already in City Hall right now. We'll wait for that to pass through.
Do y'all think y'all just being on the turf of like Black Wall Street? I know a lot of places around the world kind of emulated this, like Chicago, Charlotte, and different places, but this is kind of like the blueprint, the original of it. Do y'all think like us as a community, as a whole, will ever like have a little Africa or Black Wall Street, a Greenwood or something like this ever again?
If we come again,
anywhere.
If we don't have jealousy and hatred, we all gotta
and
come
that's the
together
number one
really
thing. That's
together.
not just here, jealousy and hate. It's all over.
Yeah.
You know. So I would love to see it, but
I would love to see that.
that's I mean, that's on us. That's a question for all of us to answer. You know what I'm saying? So, but you know, I'm grateful to have been born here. At the end of the day, you know, it ain't much of nothing, you know, nowadays. But I'm still grateful that, you know, I'm still able to carry this history. And you know, in every community I go in, black, white, whatever, like they call me Mr. Greenwood, they call me Mr. Black Wall Street, and that right there is an honor because I get to carry our legacy despite of what happened and what's still going on. And so, but a lot of people don't get the story right. It's because they said, "Oh, Dick Rowland stumbled upon her, tried to attack her, and all that," but that wasn't the case. They was actually
a whole lot.
They were actually engaged to be married, and so
yeah, everyone on this side of the tracks knew they were a couple.
Yeah,
she was an orphan living with his mother.
Are you serious?
He helped her get that job on the elevator.
Yeah, and so I guess when the elevators opened up, they seen them together and kissing or whatnot. You know, back in the 20s, you can't have that back in the 20s. And so they put him in jail. They threatened to lynch him that night. But see, another story that people don't know is that they were already gone when the black community came to the jailhouse demanding that he'd been released. So they went, what was it, Chicago?
Yeah, the first state they traveled to was Kansas.
Kansas
so they both left together?
Yes, sir. So during the midst of the massacre, they let Dick Rowland out of jail. He came back down here to pick up Sarah Page. The first state they went to was Kansas. Every state he went to, he wrote his mother a letter to make sure they were safe. Then they ended up traveling to Boston where they got married and lived the rest of the days in Chicago, where they had kids and grandkids. And his great niece has the marriage records of both of them.
See, but they made people think that they were still in a jail. You know what I'm saying? And so how it all happened, like a fight broke out, somebody got shot. And then it was Tate Brady. He was one of the leaders of the Klan.
So why did the fight break out?
Because the white
tried to lynch him with no trial.
I think I seen that too. So when you said the white tried to lynch him with no trial, was that the judicial system, or was that like just the white community?
The white community.
So this was like regular citizens, like, hey, we about to.
But see how it happened? They deputized the white community to come down here and do what they did. So they were making their own laws.
Because when they took him to jail, we had a reporter who wrote this big old article and basically lied about him. And they spread that to the town. And when the whites read that, they got mad and tried to lynch him. And when they came to the courthouse, that's when our 75-1 veterans came to fight for his justice.
Yeah, because we were old World War I vets. And so all the vets went down there.
Oh, okay. So we was already deep, but people already had like.
They brought guns and stuff from the war.
That reminds me of like, you ever seen that movie, The Spook Who Sat by the Door?
I haven't seen that one. I think the landscape and everything is much different from what it was in 1921. But if you guys ever noticed on the highway, you see the OSU Tower. That's called Standpipe Hill, and it was
OSU
much
close to here.
It's just right there.
Like
OSU
college.
Oh no, Stillwater about 45 to an hour away.
It's like an hour away.
But that's one of their campus locations.
But no, the tower is called Standpipe Hill. And Peg Leg Johnson, he lost his leg in the war. He brought home this machine gun, and he was on top of the hill. And so he was picking them all off. But to my recollection, they dressed in blackface, and then the bombs and stuff like that started coming.
The only way we lost is because we ran out of ammunition. That's when they started dropping bombs.
So how did they get access to these planes? Is my question.
It was already planned. This was the first terrorist attack on Americans by Americans. That just needed a spark to.
Is that a conspiracy?
Well, does that?
Because I mean, I don't know.
It makes me think the government had a hand.
It
because
makes me feel like that, but then it's like, was it just? Obviously, it wasn't just like a random situation. They knew each other, they were in a relationship.
Yes, sir.
But is that the truth though? Like,
yes, sir. Because before the massacre even happened, they had an article that said "Nigga Town has to go." They was already jealous. Because down here, it was 3.5 miles, 40-block radius, and we had 7 millionaires down here at the time. They'd be billionaires in today's time. 60% of the businesses down here was ran by women. The money circulated 38 times before it left the community. And they was jealous of that. And plus, we wasn't paying tax land all the time. Black Wall Street was established before Oklahoma was a state. And they came in after Oklahoma was a state. Yes, sir.
No taxes?
Yes, sir. And they was mad that we wouldn't sell our land to them. So it was a lot. So they had the National Guard. It was 3 military planes and 3 private planes.
So they did say something about eminent domain. Was that something they were trying to do around that time to take the property back? Or was that not a law?
I think it may have came after the destruction when they were trying to rebuild everything. That way they had to go through all these loops to try to rebuild. Like even the bricks. These are the these bricks they have to get from Arkansas.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they had to go to Arkansas to get these bricks
because they weren't even selling the bricks to rebuild.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. No. Now that's where originally O.W. Gurley. He was from. He was the one that founded everything. He's the forefather, but he was the one. Arkansas.
Yeah,
he was from Arkansas.
Okay.
So yeah, man.
So moving forward, right? So when I look at it now, this reminds me of like every other city that's going on now with the gentrification.
Yeah.
Basically moving out the black people, giving the grandkids pennies on the dollar, making them move and stuff like that, and these investors just coming in, buying everything up, building these high rises in these communities and stuff like that. Is that the same thing that's happening here?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
You can just look around, like these apartments, the museum, the baseball field, the OSU campus, is white, all white owned.
What about even these bricks over here?
These are all black owned. These buildings right here are only the only black owned.
These are owned by the Greenwood Chamber.
Okay.
So yeah. Yes, sir.
These are actually the rebuild buildings. So this building was rebuilt in 1923. That one was rebuilt in 1923. 22 actually. And another one was 23 as well.
And these buildings right here, this is all that's left?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
From the whole
35 blocks.
Now in the 70s, it used to be much more until they put the highway through here, and they call it the second death of Greenwood.
Yeah, gentrification.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna ask this. So obviously y'all kind of look like y'all my age. I'm like 32, so y'all kind of young.
Right.
So in the process of building all these different things, where was the petitions at? Like, hey, hold on, this is our land. We own these buildings over here. We're not sure if we want this to happen. Like, cause it seemed like that's what white folks do in certain communities when they want to build like a greenhouse or they want to build a playground or they want high rises to come in over here. That's when the communities come together and stop it. Yeah. It was none of that going on.
I'm pretty sure it was, but that's when they put them certain laws into play to where we have no choice. But as they went throughout when they were trying to rebuild, that's when you had eminent domain, and then later on in the 70s you had the urban renewal. Papa Eaton, he's one of our elders here. He called it Negro renewal, but
we was just looking at the little sign. They speak about it, how they did the desegregation, where they made people kind of. That was a law too, right?
Yeah.
And at that point, they made restaurants white only restaurants, black only restaurants, kind of combined, like a white section, black section, something like that.
Yeah.
And that's when you take the dollar out of the community.
Yes, sir.
Right.
So what are y'all trying to do now? I mean, I know y'all got ownership here, which is a blessing. But just you think it ever had, because also too, the guy from Atlanta had the Tulsa real estate fund.
Yeah, that was right. Yeah, I don't want to get into that.
I don't want to get into that.
None of that benefit here. Okay. Everybody who's coming up with all these big, the Black Wall Street, this and that from the documentaries, don't none of that come back here.
Just the
that benefits them.
Wall Street.
Damn, that's insane.
Don't none of that come here.
That's insane.
Even this museum over here, they don't give back to us.
That is insane.
They keep all their money in there.
For real?
Yes, sir.
And that's white on right here too?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
But it's telling black history.
Yes, ma'am.
It's telling the watered down. It's telling you the watered down version. But if you want to know the true history, just come across where the buildings are. You will see descendants out here. You will see me out here. I'm here every day.